Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to this war of mine. And it's a perfect start. It's a very gritty, very realistic war survival game from the perspective of civilians. So here we are. We have started the game on classic mode. Now, what I have done is I have set up my own story. So we've got 3 characters, and this is what your house is. So this is how the game starts. So we'll wait for the little notifications to come up as we start, and I'll get you into a perfect start. So you've got the best chance of survival. So war has been raging for countless months, so the besieged city has been reduced to a sea of ruins by constant shelling. Going out during daylight is like inviting snipers to target practice. Everything's in short supply. What little aid reaches the city is seized by most ruthless and the best armed. Few residents were lucky enough to survive. Well, we have. So we've got Bruno, he's a good cook. We've got Marco, who is a skilled scavenger, and that's the first thing you've got to do in the house. So all these little hand symbols here, on day 1, scavenge everything that you can. So grab all, exit. Again, there's another one over there, so go and click on that. And Marco, the skilled scavenger, will very rapidly scavenge. So again, collect all. So we've got 2 lockpicks there. That's good. We're going to need those because there'll probably be some locked doors. Now, down there is our workbench, which is the house with the spanner and the upward plus arrow. Now what we're going to do is divide and conquer. So there's rubble to clear. We don't have a shovel yet, so get 2 of them to start clearing. Okay, we're going to send Marco to scavenge, while Katia and Bruno are clearing rubble. So again, grab all. What else is there around? Okay, that's a chair downstairs, so we don't want that. There's more rubble. There's a couple of more hands down there. So let's go and search this and see what we can find. Now, the loot itself is entirely random when you start the game. It does give you quite a lot, but the contents of your loot that you're salvaging is random. So whether it's wood, components, weaponry, lockpicks, saw blades, could be anything, but you need to get everything done on day 1. So there we go. We've got some weapon parts and some more components. Again, keep scavenging, Marco, you lovely lad. We want you to get as much as possible in this first day. So there we go. So that's some wood. That's always handy. And then what we'll do, so we'll get him clearing this rubble now. Katia is doing quite well. She's nearly cleared the rubble at the top. Go over and have a look at Bruno. He's doing quite well. He's nearly there as well. In fact, he's got a little hand icon next to him, so there's some more loot that we can get from there. And as your civilians, during an armed conflict, this is all about sneaking around, raiding and scavenging at night, and surviving during the day, and also surviving against raids during the night as well. So Katia, you have a look there. Nothing but useless trash, and there's now another rubble pile to start digging through. So go back. Bruno should be finished. He is. Lovely. Okay, so Bruno, you have a look. What have we got? More weapon parts. Okay, very good. And the little cog pieces as well, all used to make stuff. So more importantly, all of this initial loot that you're scavenging in the house should give you enough stuff to start building your basic components. Now we might as well clear this door as well, just to free up the travel around the house, although being honest, the right hand side of the building here, we're not going to use a huge amount for our stuff once we're done. Okay, he's pulled off that door cover. So Bruno, you go and use one of the lockpicks that we've got to have a look inside this cabinet, and let's see what we've got. And over the course of this stream, we're going to go through days 1 to day 5. So grab, oh, a gun, pistol. Now that's rare. I've had a lot of playthroughs. I've already put in over 50 hours into this game. That's the first time at the start of the game I've actually got a gun. So that's a lucky play, but be prepared to not have any weaponry when you first search your house. It's purely an odds-based thing. As I said, the loot is entirely random. So again, we have a look around the house. Katia's getting on with that loot. We'll go and get Bruno to go to the workbench. Right, Marco, you keep scavenging. And as Marko gets to the bench, we'll have a look at some of the things that we might be able to now construct. 5 more wood, that's good. We've got 20 wood now. Okay, get Marko to scavenge there as well, so use a lockpick. Now the next important stuff that we'll start building will be beds. So one of your first primaries is your crude stove and your beds. So we'll make the stove. Now there's a little kitchen area there, so left click and drag it to where you want to place it, and I'll place it in the kitchen. Now bear in mind you might not get this building. If you want to follow this series and replicate what I'm doing, then you will need to potentially restart the game multiple times to get this specific building. Okay, so again, grab all. Okay, up you go. You might as well start using the workbench as well, and let's get Katia to keep on looting. Okay, what have we got? Some more wood, good. So we're back up to 20 again, and again go down to the last cabinet there on the top floor. Now Bruno there is saying at least it's warm. Okay, so bed, that's what we want. We want to make at least 2, so we'll make 1. Let's drag it up to this like living area here. There we go, good place for it. And then the basement for the other 2 beds. Oh, look at that, all that food, lovely. That again, an alcohol as well. That's very lucky loot finding. Right, well Bruno has now made the stove, so we'll get him to construct another item. And that will be the metal workbench. So that is the metal workshop again, another very important item. So we'll put that to the left here, to the left of the kitchen, which is also next to our medical supplies and our workbench. So keeping everything kind of in the same area of the house. As I said earlier in the stream, earlier in the video, you know, we're not going to necessarily use this right hand side of the house. There's a lot of space there, but you can fit most of the stuff that you need in the left hand side of the building. So keep it all concentrated in one area. Yes, you have to run around the house, but if you double click, by the way, they will run rather than walking, so it gets them to their destination a bit quicker. And between 7:30 and 8 PM is when the night will start, and you will then need to scavenge a location. Okay, so we're getting Bruno there to craft a lockpick so that we can lockpick that last door. And what we'll also do is, seeing as we have some food already, we'll get him to cook. Now the question is, do we have fuel and water? So let's find out. No, we don't. We have no water and we have no fuel. So, okay, can't do anything in the cook at the moment. That's fine. Go back and you'll find a lot of the stuff during the day. It's a very easy paced game. You know, there's a lot of times you may potentially skip, go straight to the end of the day just to get to the night time so that you can scavenge. But it is a brutal game because it is realistic. So there's a lot of things that you have to deal with: illness, injury, the raids that you can get at night. All in all, it's an unpleasant experience, but it's supposed to be. You're in the middle of a war zone. You're in a besieged city. There is a military surrounding the city that you're in, and you are trying to survive. So here we go. We're approaching the end of the day. We're at 7:30 PM now, so we're nearly at the night. But this is day 1, so we've got no ailments, no restrictions on our characters, and let's show you how to deal with the first night of scavenging. Okay, so we've got 2 locations unlocked and we've got our 3 characters. Now Marko can carry 15, so he is our scavenger. We'll put Katia and Bruno on guard. Put both of them on guard. Don't put one of them to sleep. Now we've got a shelled cottage and we've got an abandoned cottage. So let's go for the shelled cottage. So you go prepare. And then as you go prepare, you decide what you're going to take with you. Oh, we've got a lockpick, so let's take it with us as a just in case. And here we are. So we're now in the shelled cottage. Now we can see the stuff that we can loot are these hands. Now this location is safe. There is nothing dangerous in this location. So we'll search the fridge. Okay, lovely, 3 food. And when you're selecting the items here, don't do grab all. Okay, so 10 of the sugar, we'll leave 4 behind and we'll take all of the water. Again, let's have a look next to us. What have we got? Okay, so we've got some more herbs that we can take. There again, there's another 16 cubes of sugar. The sugar you use to make alcohol. Okay, so we're now carrying on. Have a look further into the house. Again, the little red flashing things when you can't see. All bandages and pills, nice. So the little red markers that you see in the dark, when you're in a more dangerous location, that's potentially going to be other scavengers, military personnel, bandits, could be anything. Okay, so what have we got here? Lots of components and wood. Components and wood are very important tools and items that we need to construct stuff. So we'll take lots of components and exit. Again, we took a lockpick with us. How handy was that? It's as if I knew what I wanted to bring with me. And we've unlocked that top door. Let's go and have a look and see what this note says. So it's a zone of anti-terrorist operation. Persons remaining in the city will be treated as terrorist supporters. For your own and family safety, leave the Porgan immediately. Not many believe them after the atrocities that they committed. And as you can see, I mean, this house has been shelled. The roof is on fire. You know, it's not a nice place to be. Okay, we'll leave everything in that location. We can come back another night. And as you can see down below, those red dots that are moving along, that, if this was a dangerous location, could potentially be, as I said, a bandit, military personnel, or anything else. We're going to take the basic tobacco, and let's have a look. What else are we going to take? We'll take the materials as well, and we will take the rotten food. Because later on, that rotten food can be used for two things. It can be used for bait, for a trap to get animals, for more food, and it can be also used to grow vegetables. Now that cigarette, Bruno is a smoker. So that's the one thing. Bruno is a smoker and Katya is a coffee drinker. So you need to bear that in mind when you're scavenging, that ideally you want to have cigarettes and coffee within your supplies at all times so they don't get sad. We'll just have a quick look in the rest of the house. I know we're pretty full. We'll make sure when we come back to the house we've got a shovel. Again, that's just wood and some more toys. Okay, fair enough. And then out we go. We know that our bag is full. We can't carry anything else. So what you do is you go straight back to where you came in, click on the exit, and Marko is back. And here we are, day 2. Day 2 of survival in this bombed out location and in this building that we are using as our refuge. Okay, so the night was calm. Marko's been searching and there's all the stuff that he managed to get. Okay, fantastic. Slap a continue. Okay, so now it's day 2 in the house. At the moment we've only got one bed. So Marko is now tired, as is Bruno, as is Katya, because they were on guard all night. But Bruno, go and make us some food. Okay, we haven't got fuel, have we? We still haven't got fuel, but we've got enough water. So exit, go to your workbench, and then what you're going to do is you want to make fuel out of your most readily available resource, which is wood. So that is a book, that is wood, and that is components. Never make fuel out of components. That's the worst possible thing you can do. Make it out of wood, and later on you'll find what we'll do is we'll ensure we deal with the guy at the garage. So we're going to save some of our medicines. Make a mental note of that. Don't use your bandages and medicines. You want to save some, because we're going to want to go to the abandoned garage and trade with the man so that we can get a hatchet, and you'll see why a hatchet is useful when we get there. Okay, so that is a locked door that we can't get through because of course we used our only remaining lockpick last night. Let's go and put Katya to bed. Okay, Bruno, go and see if you can make anything from the metal workbench. You can. We need another lockpick, so make. That's going to use one of our components and one of our mechanical components. So again, he's working away on making that lockpick. We've got Katya's now in bed. So Bruno, you're done. Very good. Let's see, is there anything else we can get you to make? Now a knife is a good thing to make because it will give you a weapon to defend yourself at night if you're raided. However, we've got a gun. So at the moment we don't need to. If this is your playthrough and you haven't got a gun, it might be worth building that knife. Okay, so Marko is now going through the locked door and we can finally salvage the last 2 locations and see what gear we get. Okay, so some materials, broken weapons and components. And the last one, more of the same. Okay, so for this one we didn't get a lot of wood. Now, someone is at the door. Okay, now Katya is our skilled negotiator. so she can get better deals than the other characters. So I realised that just as I was sending him there. So bargaining skills. Whenever you're trading, if you've got someone with bargaining skills, that is going to be the person that you want to use, because you're going to get more stuff for your stuff. Okay, so it's a bartering world. You're in a city that's besieged, so these guys are going around offering their wares to people that are still surviving in the city. So have a look what I've brought. Little trade icon pops up. Okay, let's have a look. What have you got that we want? Well, we've got a gun. We're not going to give that away, that's for sure, even though it's extremely high value. But we do have some other high value items as well. So now the question is, what do we want to take from him? So the wood, we're in short supply at the moment, and the water as well. We needed 2 to get to 10. Sorry, 1 to get to 10. So we'll just take all of his wood and 1 bit of water. Now let's see what we can do. It won't do. Try harder. So that's 1 alcohol. So go up. What else have we got to potentially trade? So not a lot there really. We could maybe go with some pills. So that offer of yours is just too damn impressive. Okay, take that away. Fine, we can have a deal, but let's see what other stuff we can take. So can we take components? Yes, we can. Can we add more water? Yes, we can. There we go. It won't do. Try harder. Get rid of 1. Now we can have a deal. So for those 1 pills, we got 4 components, a lot of wood, and the water. So click the X, send him away. You know that you don't want anything else from him today, even though he's got other stuff. And he comes back around every 3 days, there or thereabouts. Okay, everyone, get stuff done. You can now do a double meal because we've got vegetables. So we can make 4 meals. That's fantastic. 10 water, 4 fuel, and there we go. So make. Now Bruno is a good cook, which means he uses less water and less food and veg to make the meals compared to anyone else. And now let's get our second bed made. So make the bed, drag it down to the basement. We've got space for 2 beds in the basement. There we go. Put the one there and then place. And Katja will go and get that made. Marko is currently asleep. He's our scavenger, so we want to make sure by the end of the day that he's not tired anymore. Ideally, we also want Bruno and Katja to not be tired as well. There we go. We've now got 4 meals. Now, you could, if you wanted to, keep them on not hungry. I tend to keep them, so there's the shovel that I was talking about. We've now got enough to make it, so perfect. Get that made. But when it comes to hunger, from hungry they go to very hungry, and I like to keep them on hungry because it does progress fairly rapidly, and food can be a very scarce resource. So when they're hungry, you don't necessarily need to feed them. Wait till it gets to very hungry and then send them off to the kitchen to take one of those lovely cooked meals, and that will improve their mood quite well. Okay, Bruno's now good. He's done. He's done his little piece of work, and Katja is about ready to complete that bed. There we go. Okay. So, Katja, you sleep. There we go. And Bruno, you go and have a look at the workbench. Let's see if there's anything else that we can do. Well, not now, because we've basically got no resources, but an alcohol still and a water filter and a radio and a fire are the next things that we're going to want to construct when we've got enough resources to be able to do so, which at the moment we do not. There's no other locations to search within the building. We're at what's technically referred to as a loss. It's about 4 PM, so we've got 3 hours until the end of the day. Let's just click search here because we haven't done it yet. Some parts of the radio station are still here. So there you go, it gives you a clue to where we are. We're inside the old radio station, and this is the building that we've decided to use as our shelter here in Pommern. Okay, so these are just their bios, and also it's always worth clicking on their bios. You see at the top right hand corner it said coffee drinker. Let's get Bruno to go and sit down. Oh, Marko up there is awake. Okay, we can have a look at our gear. So we've got cigarettes, so that again is what he's going to need. So, oh, okay. So I should sleep off last night, so let's send Bruno off to bed. And now Marko's up and he is just hungry, so that is good. So now we can end the day. So there's nothing else we can do. So if you've done everything that you can possibly do in the house and everyone's in the right position, just end the day. What we're doing is double click, get him to run to bed, and that's going to give him another 2 hours of sleep. So hopefully he'll not be tired by the time we get to the end of the day. So here we go, end day. However, he is still tired, so don't really have much choice other than to give him a guard, or we can leave him sleeping in the bed and do a scavenge. So that's what we'll do. We'll let him sleep. And now let's try the other location, the abandoned cottage. And we've also now got a ruined block of flats, a garage and a ghost house. Now the garage is where we're going to go. We'll go back to the original location. We've got more stuff. Let's go and search it all out. The garage will give us a hatchet, which will allow us to break up more stuff in our house and get more fuel and wood. So the shovel, you can see now that the shovel is allowing us to dig through massively quicker than when we were doing it with our hands in our house. So here we go. He's dug through that rubble very quickly. Go and have a look what's here. One of the locations we haven't yet seen. Oh, lovely. So we'll grab all for that pile. So there was some more rotten food, some cigarettes and some valuables as well. That was good. Okay, dig the next pile. Much easier with my shovel, of course it is, rather than using your bare hands. I can certainly understand why. Okay, off he goes, digging it through. And now let's have a look. What's here? Oh, it's a locked thing. We don't have a lockpick, so we've got no chance of getting in that on this trip. That means at least one more visit to this location. Let's see what we can do. Well, let's do a grab all for this. There we go, and exit. And again, go back up the stairs because we know there's locations at the stairs that we haven't cleared out yet. Go and have a look at this lot outside. Okay, what's here? Well, there's only one box of components and wood. We've already got some wood, so let's go back into the end room here because we know that there was stuff other than wood and components. So there we go, take four of those, and we can take the teddies as well, so the toys. Okay, that's not too bad. Yep, very good. Okay, so exit. And we're now full, so you can just click run to exit. It's a bit easier. He'll just leg it and head on his way home. And that is the end of day 2. So here we are, we're now in day 3. And he's back with all of the results of his scavenging, and hopefully we'll be able to do a few more bits around our house during the course of the day with what he's managed to get. So 10 pieces of wood and 8 components, as well as a lot of other bits and pieces. Okay, so Bruno is just hungry. So he used to be an optimist, and as you can see at the top right hand corner there, good cook, smoker in orange text. So he needs cigarettes, which we have managed to get. So luckily he'll stay happy. Catch is hungry and tired, so we'll go and send her to sleep. And we'll go and send Marko to sleep, and Bruno can go up to the workbench and have a look and see what we can construct. So off he goes. Graphically, about this, from the perspective of this game, I love it. I love the pencil undertones, the fact it looks like everything has been drawn and sketched. I love the music in the background. Overall, just the game in general, I like everything about it. It's really cool, and just a shout out to Queen Bee, who recommended this on one of my Shelter 2 live streams. So yep, great recommendation. It was on my Steam wish list, and I'm glad that I've purchased it. Okay, so radio is the next thing that we want. Radio is very important because it gives you an idea as to what's going on in the city around you, so what events are taking place, maybe what's gone wrong, what's about to go wrong, and let you be prepared for events to come. So that could be an item becoming very expensive. So if you've got a coffee drinker, it could be that the coffee beans are now very hard to get a hold of. Cigarettes can go through the roof, you know, that kind of stuff, depending on the metrics of the game. And it seems to be, from what I gather in the number of playthroughs that I've done, relatively procedural. So procedurally generated, and also I have died multiple times as well, just to give you the heads up. It's not easy. It is a difficult game. But again, follow these steps. You're going to have a much better chance. At the moment, we can't build any weapons. We don't have enough gear from our scavenging. So this is where you start to see, I mean, he's now saying we need food. We might as well just end the day, potentially. Yeah. And then what we'll do is we'll scavenge. Now we've got these extra locations, so where do we want to go to? We've got a ruined block of flats. Okay, that has no danger. The abandoned cottage we haven't been to yet. That's got lots of food, huge amounts of materials, some medication, some huge amounts of weapons, and of course we've still got the original shelled cottage as well. So the decision where you go is entirely yours. So let's go to the abandoned cottage maybe, make sure we've got everyone set up right. So no, we want scavenge for Marco, guard for Bruno, and guard for Katja. So prepare. We want to take our shovel with us, and that's it. So looters must have been in a hurry. There's still a lot of stuff left. Yep, there certainly is. Let's have a look in the garden. What have we got? Oh, there's some bullet casings there. Some gunpowder even. So that'll be worth taking, but not right this second, because at the moment what we're doing is we're looking for the stuff that we need, and we can always come back another night if there is more stuff to find. Okay, so components, they're fairly important, so we'll take those. Okay, and the wood. Okay, there we go. Exit, we'll leave a little bit in there. Let's have a look through the peephole. Is there anything in there? Okay, no, it doesn't look like it, so in we go. Oh, we can't, it won't open. Okay, well look at this, there's a ladder that goes into the basement. Well, we'll have to have a look at everything down here, won't we? Okay, what's in the first pile? Alright, so more components, some shell casings and another toy. Okay, we'll leave that behind. We've already got 10 bullets at home in the gun that we found, so at the moment we haven't used any bullets, so we're not in a rush for bullets. Let's take some extra wood because we haven't got a lot back at home. And again, have a look at the next pile, see what we can find. Now see that red dot flashing? That means that could potentially be a person. Let's take more of the components and the parts. There we go. Yeah, let's take more. Okay, what's in the end cupboard? Let's have a look. Anything interesting? Okay, yeah, we've got some coffee beans. We've got some more rotten food. So fertilizer. We've got books and we've got electric parts as well. So quite a bit to take there. We'll leave that as is for now. I have a strong suspicion we're going to be coming back to this house doing a couple of scavenging raids. Let's have a look at the little question mark. The magnifying, a family photo of parents and 2 daughters. Good thing the girls don't resemble their father. He looks like a bear. Okay, have a look in the fridge. What have we got? Wow, we've got a lot of food, a lot of water, a lot of sugar, and for some reason someone stuffed a toy in the fridge. But okie dokie. Well, we're now full of stuff. So what do? We'll throw some wood in the fridge. Why not? To free up some extra space, and we'll take that for food. Can't take any more. So we've now got coffee, food, fertilizer, and lots of other bits and pieces. Let's remove the jam off the back of this door, so the next time we come here we don't need to go through the basement, even though there are still components in the basement that are worth getting. There we go, get that all pulled off. Lovely stuff. And we're full, so we might as well go home. And there we are, we're now in day 4. So one more day to go before the end of this Perfect Start series, episode 1. Oh, we've been raided. Okay, this is it. This is when the negative stuff starts happening. Someone tried to rob us. It was quite a tough group, but they didn't do much harm. We had some weapons, but not enough for everyone. Katja was wounded, but the attackers didn't steal anything. We should put more people on guard. Well, we had 2 people on guard. We just didn't have enough weapons, and we used 2 bullets. So, I'm guessing Bruno took the gun, and we've now got a slightly wounded and very hungry Katja. So, Katja, go and eat some food. Bruno, you are also very hungry, so go down to the kitchen, and you'll notice as well that Marco is also very hungry, but we'll send him down to the bed in the basement. We'll get Katja and Bruno fed and get one of them in bed. Probably Katja because she's wounded. Now, as I said, you could use the bandages now. Don't. She's only slightly wounded. She can recover in bed. It might take a while, but she can recover. So send her off to sleep. Let's give Bruno some food as well. And his bio is updated. So when the bio flashes orange on their character tab, it means we've got an update. So I must get food at all costs. Got to think of some way to do it. So he thinks about his belly quite a lot. Now we've already got a shovel, so this is when we could build a knife. It doesn't use a huge amount of components, so let's make it. So that means both people have got a weapon. So if we've got two people on guard, one will have a gun and one will have a knife. Okay, so Katya's going off to bed. It's early in the morning, so they should get over their tiredness. And the next thing also would be to build a crowbar. So that's going to use 10 of our 21 components. Lockpick as well. Yeah, okay. I'm just thinking, should we make it or not? No, we'll leave it for now. It does use 10 of your components. So let's go to the workbench. We've still got the water filter and the alcohol distiller to make. So let's go with water filter. See, that uses 15 components. Just as well we didn't make the knife. Otherwise we wouldn't have been able to make the water filter. Sorry, the crowbar, not the knife. So the water filter can go in the room below the kitchen. And then just place. And then Bruno will go off and make it. Oh, and our trader's about to arrive as well. So he's come back an extra day. Okay, so let's wake Katya up and send her down to the door with her bargaining skills so that we can get more value for our money. Off you go, Katya. Okay, she's nearly at the door. So click on the door. There we go. Wait for his little icon to come up and then trade. Okay, so what have we got now? We managed to find some jewels, didn't we, I think? So what do we want from him? He's got cigarettes and we haven't got any. So let's take a cigarette and some bandages. Oh, I thought we had valuable. Ah, there they are. Yep, so valuables. It won't do try harder because bandages are like the most expensive item in the game. So what else can we offer him? Maybe some of our food. Yeah. What else? What else? Maybe a piece of food. Let's see what they say. What he says. No, actually, I don't think that's going to be enough value. What about an alcohol? Let's go with an alcohol. That's going to be okay. Fine, we can have a deal. Now, can we add anything else to that and it still be a deal? Good question. Let's give it a go. Okay, so the answer is no, but let's add a load more and change what we're offering. So maybe offer, what do we want to offer? Sugar maybe? We've got 20. We're not making alcohol at the moment, so let's see how much we need to add. There we go, 4. We can have a deal. So that's some bandages, a cigarette, and 8 components, and we're giving 4 cubes of sugar, some alcohol, and some jewels. Okay, deal. And click the little X, or we can do another deal with him. It's entirely up to you. So if you decide that you now want more stuff, you can go back in. So what else do we have? We've got 3 alcohol, so that's very generous of you. So okay, still we're fine. We can have a deal now. Let's keep going. Okay, there we go. So we can have 16 components for 1 bottle of alcohol. We'll do a deal. Or of course we can say not interested. It's entirely up to you. Then click the X, get rid of him. You might want to keep the alcohol because drinking it gets rid of depression and sadness. And it can also be used in a alcohol distiller to make pure alcohol, which is one of the essential ingredients for making bandages at the herbal workbench that we haven't built yet. So it's all thinking ahead, planning ahead. What do you have? What are your resources? Now we do need that 3rd bed because at the moment we don't have beds for everyone. We also will need water filters. So the filters are needed for the water filter to get 4 water, and the heater is needed when the weather starts getting colder to keep us nice and toasty when the temperatures drop down. So we'll exit for now. And then the other thing is to upgrade. So we've got enough components to actually upgrade to the improved workbench. so might be worth doing that as early on as possible, because it gives you access to a greater degree of items. And this is where we're going to see our herbal workbench and our medicinal workbench. So here we go, get this done, get him built. So it's going to upgrade our workbench now. So he's taken it apart to rebuild it as an improved workbench. Okay, nearly there. There we go. You can see it's a bit bigger now, the table. And now let's see what we can build. Well, we can't build anything, but we can build a sofa. We can build board ups. Now the board ups reduce your risk of being raided. There's those 2 additional workshops, as well as a rat trap, so a trap for small animals. So once you've built that, you put in some rotten food, and at a random time scale you will get 2 additional meat food, so the little meat with the bone in it, to add to your fridge to increase the amount of food you've got to feed your survivors. So Marko has slept. He is very hungry at the moment, but let's just double tap and he'll run there. So off he runs to the fridge. Oh no, he's waiting for Bruno to come down the ladder. There we go. Can't have 2 people on the ladder at the same time, especially not with the fact it looks like it's made out of little bits of 2x4 wood. So he's very hungry. Get him fed, and then we'll go and get the radio checked out, see if there's any news. Okay, let's see what there is. The rebel leader instructed us to warn the listeners not to cross the front line. Failure to comply could result in death. Okay, so that is because at the moment the city is surrounded and it's too big a risk to head out of the city. Well, that's a fair point. So let's end the day. There's nothing else we need to do. So Miss Catch is still slightly wounded, but we'll put her on guard anyway. And there we go. They've now got weapons each, so that now we decide where we want to go back to. I think we'll go with, well, there's a decrepit squat there as well. Shelled School, okay. St Mary's Church, caution advised, okay. Fair enough. Garage, caution advised, lots of parts, okay. So again, it's you decide where you want to go. Of all the places you've already been, or the places that you can now go to. So it's just, where do we want to go? Let's go back to the abandoned cottage, because we know there's still food left, you know, there's still bits and pieces left. We'll take our shovel with us. Actually, we don't need it, do we? From memory, or do we? No, let's take it with us. Okay, so here we go. Just literally legging it into the house, because I know where stuff is. So there we go. Go and have a look here straight away. Oh, look at that. Okay, we'll take the food. We'll take the herbs. Might as well take 10 of the sugar as well. There we go. And exit. And then keep going. We've got our shovel with us, luckily. I was right. There was still something to uncover. There's a rat in the corner of the building there. But what we do not have, because that's going to be a locked cabinet, I would imagine, we don't currently have a lockpick, so we will need to come back here again. Let's just go and click on it anyway, make sure, yep, it's locked. Okay, we haven't been upstairs yet, so let's go. Oh, there's a little question mark in the corner. Let's see what it says. The note says, on the first day they robbed us, 2 days later they murdered our girls. I shot every one of them, but I don't want to use the gun anymore. It's broken and buried in the backyard. The next part looks shaky. If you're reading this, don't look for me. Poor guy. So they were robbed, then they came back, murdered his daughters. That's just sad, isn't it? That's war. Okay, we'll take the components and the parts, and we'll take the wood. Let's have a look through the peephole. So it's that again, another locked door, so we need 2 lockpicks to clear out the rest of the house. There's not really much point in looking in the room when we can't open the door. Let's go back downstairs. There's more stuff that we haven't taken. Is there anything out in the back garden? No, there isn't. Okay, so that is a dead end. So what's in this pile here? Let's have a look. Okay, so more components. There we go. And some parts. And we can take the wood as well. We'll leave one there. Okay. And you'll find as you raid these locations, and sometimes the locations become inaccessible due to combat, you'll start basically going back and getting very little. So when you first start, you get loads, and then as you wear out the locations, it starts to get slim pickings. But there's enough locations. I mean, I think I've selected 13. So I hand-picked these locations, by the way. The first few run-throughs that I've done, these were the locations that I was getting, so I made sure that I got the same ones. And you'll get anything from caution, danger, and nothing. If there's no notification, it means you're probably safe to go there. We've now filled up our bag. We've got everything. If there's any extra books in these piles, we can take them with us. And books are great for dealing with sadness because it's something to read, something to cheer you up during the miserable times of this war, as well as smoking, drinking, and of course all the other vices. Okay, so can't take anything from there. Okay, up we go. Oh look, we've got a new location as well. Okay, we'll go back to this pile, have a look, because we've run in multiple times. So that was the gunpowder, wasn't it? Yep. But now we've got a new location on the floor after reading that note, because we know that there's something buried in the back garden, and there's the broken gun, as well as a couple of weapon components. Now that's enough to repair the gun. So the question is, do we get rid of some of the stuff that we've got to take it? We know we've got weapon parts back at the house. So we'll take the gun, drop the wood, and that's it. I think that's it for tonight. And we're now into day 5. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I will keep this as a series, but this gives you a perfect start. If you want to stop watching here and go and play the game yourself and follow some of the tips and advice I've given you over the course of this video, rock on. I will post a part 2 to this series, but we're now into day 5. Katja is still slightly wounded and tired, so we'll go and send her to sleep. Bruno as well, you go and have a rest, dear chap. And Marco, we'll have a look at him, get him to go up to the workbench maybe. This is the water filter, by the way, so if we click on this, as you can see at the moment we've got no water filters, but when you do you get full water. So for using the water filter, so create a filter, add it to the water filter, and then you have a timer, and then you get full water. So let's quickly go to the workbench, and then we'll close out this episode of this series. I do hope you've enjoyed. If you have, please drop a like and subscribe to my channel. As I said, I will do a part 2 for this and carry on with the series because it is a great game. We can't do the board ups yet. We can make another bed, so I think maybe time to get our 3rd bed in. Or we could put a fire in, but we've not got cold weather yet, so it's not really something to worry about. We could also build a sofa, and we can build the moonshine still. So the moonshine still will get us alcohol. So should we build that? Yeah, nah. Water filter. That, as I said, that's for making... Yeah, we will make it. Okay, so drag it up right to the top floor in that nice like library space. Put it there, and that is your moonshine still. And off he'll go, and he'll build that. Again, as you can see, I've put nothing in the right hand side of the building yet. Everything is nice and neatly placed in the left hand side of the building. You don't really need to use the right hand side. Eventually you do for a couple of the workbenches and stuff, but other than that, 90% of all your stuff is on the left hand side, and is nice and easily accessible basically from one screen. As you scroll up and down, it makes it a bit easier. Oh, someone needs help. Well, we'll see what help they need, and then we'll close out today's episode. Okay, someone's at the door. Bruno, Marco even. Run, my friend, run. Okay, who we're going to use? Let's use Bruno. Run down and see what help they need. Okay, so get Bruno to run down, and this is where the moral dilemmas start entering the game, whether you want to be a nice person or not. So let's see. Hi there, neighbours. Let's see what their problem is. Okay. Found some supplies. Well, let's go and help him. So under the cover of darkness, we might be able to make it. I think that's going to be a yes. But until next time, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm Know It All Gaming.